Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Glenn.
Hey, what's up, Mikey? Hey, stop it. Stop it. Let's just jump right in.
Here's Johnny. Glenn.
Let's just jump right in. So wait.
Yes.
So we're trying to figure this out, man. We don't know what we're doing. We have made.
We'll figure it out.
We've made zero money from this. I mean, that's not our.
The price of the donuts keep going up.
And our guest today cost $5,000. So we are deep in our pockets.
We had to slot him in.
We are deep in our.
Wow.
I mean,
I'll come every week for 5,000.
He told me. I mean, first of all, we had to wait a year and a half to get him. I mean, he's that much in demand. But I do want to pick something apart.
Yeah.
So we've got Instagram. Yes. We've got TikTok.
We got an email address.
We got an email address. I'm not sure if it works, but we have it.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But we do have one. Podcast at Sober.Coffee.
We got a website.
Yeah, we have a website.
Yes.
We have a YouTube.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we got YouTube.
And we have a spotlight in the sky somewhere.
Yeah.
But we have part of our webpage is called Writings.
Oh, here we go. He's going to put me on the spot.
I'm going to.
Well, I love it.
The only reason I'm putting you on the spot is because I get feedback from people as to the value of the writings. So,
yes.
I don't know, maybe it was a year ago, 9 months ago.
It was in December.
Okay, so 6 months ago.
Yes.
You took a sabbatical.
Right.
Took
a break.
Yeah.
Yep.
I took a break. And you're like, hey, I'm going to take a break. And because, so what the writings are is Mikey takes every episode and like there's some nuggets that come out of the episode.
Right. Just maybe one thing. It could be a conversation or it could just be one little comment like, I knew my kids wanted me present in their life. That would be one comment.
Hey, Joe, see that spark is getting lit again?
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask what our three listeners want to know.
That's right.
Our three listeners in 50 countries.
Yes.
They want to know is when are we going to crank that up again?
Yeah, so here's the deal. Soon, very, very soon.
So no date, just open-ended soon?
Yeah, because I've got a couple things I want to button up. I've taken the time to kind of dive into my spiritual aspect of my program, right?
Which is a great foundation.
Which is a great foundation. And here's the thing. There's 200 and some odd writings out there. People can go and chew through the inventory. They're not timely. They're topical.
No, but what happens to the people that have read all 200 of them and are thirsty for the 201st?
Yeah. I will be back soon. I love doing it. It is cathartic. It is part of my program is to write those. I don't use AI. It's all
okay. So yes. I will put the words. I will put the words.
Watch this, Joe.
Soon.
Watch this, Joe. Now what? Now he's going to press me to a date.
No, wait. No.
Yeah,
he's going to press me to a date.
Right.
It's all about accountability.
No. I'm very intentional about my conversations these days, and when I hear a word, sometimes I ask for a definition.
Yes.
Right, because people have defined it different ways. So is soon 30 days or is soon 4 years?
No, soon it's not 4 years. Soon it's much closer to 30
Between
days.
30 days and 4 years.
Yes, closer to the 30. Hey, thank you for the shout out though. I do enjoy it. I think there's some good
That
nuggets
is so
there.
good stuff, man. I mean,
great value.
I mean, I sat there. I mean, the first one, right? He sends me. He goes, "Hey, what do you think?" Right? And I read that. And I read it like 4 times, and I'm like, "That is gold. Like, where did that come from? Like, it came from the soul, you know?" And it's just, I've gotten feedback from people that they're amazing, and so I'm just asking for them. I'm not asking for me. I could care less.
It'll be very quick, and I'll send an email out to if you.
But I'm tired of getting the emails to our email address that I'm not sure it works. I'm not sure it works.
So let's get on topic. We got Big Joe back in the office.
I love, man. And, back in the office. Listen to you, man.
You know, because you're not having fun, you're working. So.
I am. I'm having fun.
Wait, really now?
Am
Joe,
I?
he's having fun. Let's go define fun.
Well, yes. Define fun, Glenn.
All right. A level of enjoyment outside of the normal everyday grind that my life is. So I get some brevity, I get some laughter, I get some creative banter going, and it's very enjoyable and fun.
So when you
All right.
left this
That
morning,
was a good
That's a
definition.
good definition.
Yeah.
When you left this morning,
Right.
and if was Jen up?
No,
Had she been up, and she said, "Hey, have fun,"
Or,
what would
"Hey,
you
wait."
have response?
I hate it when she does that. So I said, "Sorry, man, I'm eating a donut."
Yeah.
I'm like, "This shit ain't fun."
Yeah,
I said
This
it's
is work.
rewarding. I said it's rewarding.
Yeah.
But getting up at 4:00 on Saturday morning,
The day after a holiday,
That's right. Right.
that
right?
ain't fun.
Oh,
Right.
Can I do the rewind clock?
Yes.
4th of July, Mike drunk fireworks.
A good-
Scenario for good outcome. What do you
Good
think,
combo.
Joe?
Good combo. Well, I could say this: we had a few friends over yesterday, and there was a few that we'll say were overserved,
Off the
And-
rails.
Yeah, and it was a good reminder, like you said. Yeah.
Right. Fireworks, man.
Yeah.
Drunk with
Yeah.
fireworks. My
So-
neighbors hated me.
The same thing. We had people over, right? And Jen knows me now, right? I mean, she just knows me, and there's no way I'm sitting around in a drunk-a-log, watching people get drunk. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Good night.
So I literally, there are like, five that were just drink after drink after drink. I mean, who would do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Us, us three sitting
Who
here
would do that?
at a podcast at 5 a.m.
I
in
mean,
the
I would
morning?
drink for 7 days. I would have a conversation for 7 days if there was alcohol involved.
Yeah, right. Sure.
And so I sat there for an hour, very polite, very engaging. I saw them teed up, and
you
they're
went to
all
bed?
no, they were all outside. And so
You locked the door?
No, I just went in. I excused myself. I went in,
Yeah.
and I did shit for half an hour. I came back out. I literally sat down, checked in with everybody for 5 minutes, went back in for 45 minutes. I mean, they sat out there for 5 hours just
Yeah,
drinking.
And the funny thing is, they probably didn't even miss you were gone. Not to your sparkling
right.
personality,
No,
isn't
absolutely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They
They're-
could
it's-
care less.
They were thrilled. They had their cocktail and just again,
They're
you
talking about stupid stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, meanwhile, I was productive, and I kept checking in. And finally, at 8:30,
absolutely.
I check in. I'm like, hey, guys, just want to let you know. I said, I'm wrapping up. I said, I got to get up. What are you getting up early for? I said, well, I'm doing a podcast. The guy goes, what's your podcast on? I'm like, sobriety.
The whole room changes all of a sudden, right?
Well,
They
Cringe.
awesome.
They cringe.
Ironically, I did the same thing last night. It's like, so I've gotten to a point now when we have friends over, it's like, and a lot still drink and still drink enough. And, they stay. At 10 o'clock, 10:30, it's, that's when it's lights out for me, and so I'm to the point where I said, hey, guys, I got to get up early. I'm going to do a podcast. And actually everyone's, oh, really? Yeah. Really? So I said, it's a good, exit strategy for me. And,
use us anytime you want. If you need us as an excuse,
I got it.
Boy, Joe's done that podcast 17 weeks in a row.
and it's like I continually do it. Yeah. I mean, and I go up and say, good night, and I go to bed, and they stay down there, and the liquor cabinet is still full, so they're just going to town. They're happy.
So first of all, Joe has a bar that's, Dick's Steakhouse. Joe Bar, put that to shame.
Yeah.
Right.
But I came down this morning at 4 o'clock, get my coffee, and there's
Oh, sure. The remnants.
there's new cases of liquor like all over the place, and I mean we had like 10 kids, and I'm like, oh my god, what?
Right.
What party? I go out and look whose car's still here.
Yeah,
who's
right.
sleeping in the
Yeah.
house,
Right.
But I'm like, you know what? Hey, how cool is it? You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
How cool it? Chaos is gone. Storm's gone.
You look at it. You look at it and say, okay, I guess it's a good reminder of, where we'd be at, looking back at that, saying, okay, God, thank God I don't feel like crap this morning. Thank God that, I didn't drink a half a handle of Tito's. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's, I'm blessed. And, you look at it too, and it's a good reminder of where we'd be if we were still
I'd be
on
dead.
that, trudging that road to.
I would be dead.
I think
Well,
I'd be
me
dead.
too. I agree
I think
with
I'd
that.
Be dead.
I
I
do too.
really, yeah. I think I was
So-
on the fast track.
So I'm going for shoulder surgery this week.
Yeah, right.
And,
Wow, I
and-
did not know that.
Yeah, so it's the third time, so that's all half by now. But I'm going to try to get through without pain pills.
What? Wait. Okay. Let's back up a minute. What? Just
Yeah,
just
so my
arthritic stuff, or
no,
what?
so my left shoulder, 15 years, I had surgery, and it was rotator cuff, bicep tendon, slap repair, and I got a joint right here. They shaved bone down from the joint. The arthritis stuff, right?
Yeah.
Total rebuild. So bionic, I was compliant. I did all the soup can lifts, and then 2 years ago I had this one done, and then this one just broke down. My left one broke down again. So
You're kidding?
Yeah. So I got to go in Tuesday, but so I'm going to try to get it through it with an ice machine and without the pain pills. I mean, I'll probably take a couple, but not like the first time.
Well, that's a real issue now.
Can I just make a
I
statement?
took 4 months worth of pills the first time.
Pain pills and AA.
Yeah.
I'm pretty familiar with the first 164 pages of the big book, and they don't talk on that topic, right? But what they do say in the big book is there are others that can provide services to you, doctors that can provide services. My understanding is, and I know you've been down this path before with surgeries in our relationship, and I know you manage those pain pills in an over-focused way. I mean, you've got Jen in check.
Well, here's what I do.
The doctors in check. Everyone knows your story.
Yeah, a lot of people, what kind of tools do you use, right? So, first of all, I work with my sponsor, and my sponsor's opinion is, Glenn, just because you're an alcoholic doesn't mean you sign up for a path of total suffering.
Thank you.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
And shoulder surgery is
It's a good point.
Shoulder surgery is one of the toughest surgeries out there. I mean, it is real pain.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it is real pain. So taking that, he said, now control it. What's your plan?
And the beauty of it too, not to cut you off, but you've had it, so now you know what you're in for.
Right.
Like I've never had it, so I don't know what to expect.
I'd be like, give me 40.
I'd be like, okay, this is going to hurt.
Be enough,
but you know what to expect.
Yeah. So kind of a baseline going back. I was in this 45-day hospital program at Rush. So I'm sitting down
for
in
your
front
shoulder.
No, it's just my alcoholism.
Yeah.
No, I had 10
Detox.
PhDs who sat in front of me who were going to fix my alcoholism.
Right.
They failed.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting in front of Dr. Scheffner, the head of psychiatry at Rush, and he's got my big stack of papers. He says, Glenn, you've been through some surgeries. We pulled all of your pharmacy records for the last 5 years.
No shit.
He says, I'm amazed. He said, you're a raging alcoholic. He goes, but you've taken pain pills through your surgeries. You've never abused a single one. He said, he goes, I can't figure that out. I'm like, that's easy. They don't do anything for me.
I feel the same way. I do not get any. I don't get any relief from like Vicodin and like all that. I don't either.
All I do is it knocks
and there's
out the
people
pain.
that love them. There's
I added them with a bottle of liquor, and it was,
you love
it was
it.
a buzz.
Yeah, and people, there are people that take them, and I never found the attraction. I am with you on that. They just don't. They don't work for me.
Now my personality, right? So I've never tried to refill it early. I never tried to jury rig the doctor system. None of that, right? Now it says take 2. I may take 3, right?
I run to the dentist. I think I'm going to have a toothache. Can I get some Vicodin?
And I used to do that at the dentist too.
And back in the day, they did it. Yeah, back in the day, they did.
Right. So the first thing I did is have the conversation with my sponsor. Next is every medical person I touch. My surgeon, the PA, everybody, the nurses, when I go in to get the IV, I tell everybody that I'm a recovering alcoholic with 10 years of sobriety.
Yeah, so that way
everybody knows.
There's no loophole for you to figure out. That's good.
So I work with this guy, and I've known him quite a while. I was never a sponsor, but I was working with him, and I was talking to him. I'm like, dude, you don't sound good. What's going on? He goes, it might be my new medicine. I said, well, what's your medicine? He goes, I don't know the name. I forget the name of it. I'm like, bullshit.
Right?
I'm like, I called him out. I'm like, don't tell me you don't know the name of it.
Bullshit is right.
I said, what are you doing? So he's like Xanax. I said, dude, you're a Xanax addict.
I called it, right.
Yeah, you're a Xanax addict. You were doing bricks of them. He goes, yeah, but my doctor gave them to me. I said, did you tell your doctor you're a Xanax addict? He goes, well, no, because then he wouldn't have given them to me. I'm like, dude, you might as well just go to the dealer on the corner.
Right.
There's no difference.
By the way, my my
100%.
liquor store guy knew I was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
My guy
was
cut
no
me
doubt
off.
about it.
Yeah.
My guy cut me off. I'm like, I've kept you in business.
I made rounds. I hit different liquor stores throughout the town to make it look like I didn't look at
You're
it.
smart. That's
you
you're
know?
the high level one.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
So now all my doctors know,
And Jen knows.
and then Jen gets the bottle,
Right. Yeah.
That's
and
the
then
one.
Jen has the bottle, and she's got a log.
I guess
And
all
she
I'm
gives
saying
me every
is,
pill and writes it down.
Yeah.
if you need it, take it. Nowhere in AA does it say don't take a pain pill because if you're having major shoulder surgery.
Right.
Nowhere in AA
I
does it
agree.
say. Then they got a pamphlet that talks to it that you.
But
can
you
get
got some.
online.
You got some
As a matter of
people.
fact, we have it on our
But
resource room.
you got some people, right? I won't call them wackos. Joe will call them wackos. But you got some people saying, "Oh, that's a mind-altering drug."
Well,
like,
sure.
like you should go. You should be awake during your surgery. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
No.
like
I go back to like what your sponsor said. Yeah, okay. There's nothing in there that says I'm supposed to be, suffering.
Right.
Right. I mean, again, but again, you did those. It's just like it is like getting into sobriety. Right. Is you do certain steps. You reach out to other alcoholics. You call your sponsor. You get a sponsor right away. You start recognizing things, and you did this. You did it. You said, "Hey," you told everybody in your pathway. So they didn't leave you a loophole to say, "Okay,
Right,
well,
sure.
you know what? I could.
I need a bottle."
Yeah,
Right.
and I mean,
well, here's what I know about Glenn, because I've done it. Glenn can put a suit on, and Glenn can walk into a doctor's office.
Say exactly what they want to hear.
And I can tell them exactly what they want to hear. And it's like a catalog.
Yeah.
I can walk out with whatever I want.
Sure.
I've done it.
I know.
Yeah.
I look professional. I'm very articulate. Thank you, sir. Very respectful.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can give them all the symptoms, and I can tell them all. I can give them all the bullshit and get whatever I want.
right.
I gave that up years ago.
So
It doesn't work.
I'm at the doctor in the past 6 months, and I've got this shake in my left hand. And it turns out it's what they call central tremor, right? So if I put my coffee in my hand,
that would drive me nuts.
It shakes, right?
Yeah.
It would drive me nuts. So what does
It
he do?
reminds me of the shakes.
He tells me gummies. Take some weed.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I said, Doc, let me explain something to you. I'm not going down that path until I can't drink my coffee anymore, and then I'm going to have a real debate, right?
right.
So, but that's just me. I won't take that because it's not shoulder surgery. This is something I can live with, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't want to go mind altering. I respect my
Well,
clarity too much
is
right
there
now. I
an
appreciate it.
alternative besides that? Like, for example, my shoulder surgery. So the last time I went, I didn't even take the full prescription. The first bottle, and the last time I had it done, I think I had 6 different prescriptions. 4 to 6 months I took pain because I was milking it 15 years ago.
Sure.
But I found an alternative, an ice machine.
Yeah.
So
That's what I did when I broke my wrist, and it was the same thing. It's Novocaine and the ice machine, and that they keep it numb that way, and that's ice. Yeah, they
and
didn't.
it heals
And it does.
faster. And,
Yeah.
and right. So
I'll look into it, but my point is, I'm not. For me, it's not the right. It's not the right.
no,
mix.
but
I
you
don't
know
need
that
something
you're
mind-altering.
actively
Yes.
working a sober
Right.
program.
Right.
But then I did research, and when I go in, I found a new non-narcotic pain blocker.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, dude, let's try
Yeah,
this.
right. Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Right?
sure.
It's non-narcotic, non-mood altering,
Right.
but it hits the source of the pain. But at the end of the day, I can be as painful as I can cry and be a baby and it really hurts, or I can suck it up and say, hey man, this is an investment. Being clear-minded is being an investment in my life today.
Sure.
And then, and I have a friend that that was.
You have a friend?
Yeah, well, let's
much
call
did
him
that cost you?
let's call him an acquaintance. But that there was that shoulder surgery, and it kind of led down to him relapsing, and
Yeah. See?
and again, and he had some years of sobriety, and he started with the pain pills, and that is just. You just, it's good that you got your guard up and you're aware of it. And again, that's half the battle is being, your eyes are open.
Well, it's like I used to travel all the time, and I just posted. I was just in a hotel out in California, and it had one of the I took a picture of it and posted it on our social media. One of the sexiest mini bars I've seen in a long time. It had the backlit lights.
Of course.
So
That's
that Grey Goose,
Lure.
and it was like
The
rainbow. It was like
Yeah.
rainbow colors.
Yeah.
But for 8 years, I would either ask for a room without a mini bar, or I'd have them clear it out, right?
Oh wow!
Now it impacts me zero, right?
Right.
But I still noticed it, and I'm like, 2 years of sobriety, those bottles would be calling my name, right? So I just know. But when I travel, I used to relapse all the time when I travel because I had no game. I had no game plan.
Right.
I had no accountability. Now, guess what? I don't go to the airport bars and sit and have pizza and stare at the bottles.
Right.
Yeah.
I eat at the gate. I pick up a sandwich. I eat at the gate.
You're that guy.
I don't go to the United, the United Club where they have unlimited. Well, at least I don't eat it on the plane. Some guy ate tuna fish.
I know, right?
Tuna fish on the plane.
Right
I'm like, dude, he brought it from home. On a 12-hour flight. I'm like,
Nice
dude, what
and
are you
ripe.
like? You're not nice.
That's nasty.
But you just have a different game plan. And it's like the barbershop, right? We use all these things. I mean, if you hang out in the barbershop, you're going to get a haircut.
Eventually.
Right? So you just don't go to the barbershop.
100%. And again, like I had a friend tell me yesterday, was wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt, right? And every Tommy
yesterday.
it has,
GQ.
every Tommy Bahama shirt's got some sort of, alcohol slogan, right? Or some reference to it, right?
Some cocktail.
Now he's next to me with a full drink, and he's like, how can you wear that shirt? Does that not affect you? And I'm thinking, I go, well, I'm sitting next to you drinking alcohol.
Smelling your drinks.
Right. I'm like, I think I'm okay with just wearing a shirt, And I'm thinking, like, just how delusional that,
I think people like my mom. My mom is a great one. She'll say, well, we might have wine tonight. Are you going to be okay with that? Mom, I'm okay. The thing is, like your minibar and like your guy drinking at the party, it doesn't even come into it doesn't affect me. My danger points are when I'm driving down the street at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it says, Mike, you should have a drink.
Right.
100%.
What is that?
Cloudy Tuesday afternoon.
I don't
gets me.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But those guardrails are so important. We don't keep liquor in our house. And that was my wife's decision, not mine. But I'm kind of glad we do have that rule because it just takes it off the table.
Yeah, but here's something along that line is, I've got my college kids back, and the one's 21, so he can drink. And,
right. Oh, my kids come over. All of a sudden, cases come in.
Yeah,
It's bottles of $100 whiskey. And
So I opened the fridge the other day, and I counted them, 32 bottles of booze in the fridge.
yeah, right.
And I said to Jen, I'm like,
Where's the butter?
I'm like, that's not acceptable. Yeah, that's great. Where's the butter? Where's the milk?
Yeah.
I'm like, babe, come on, that's not acceptable. She goes, does it bother you? I'm like, having 1 or 2 in there doesn't bother me.
Right.
But having 32 reminds me of my old fridge.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, we don't need 32 cold ones.
Yeah, right.
Put them
Right.
in the basement fridge.
Right.
Like, get them. So,
Yeah.
Good point.
they were traveling. I cleared the thing out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care if it's in the upper shelf.
Yeah, right.
Every time I go in the pantry,
Right.
I look in the upper shelf, look at all the booze.
I know.
Yeah.
I just do.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I and again, I do, and I look when we go out socially. It's like if we go out to dinner or you go out somewhere, and I mean, I look at what everybody's drinking, and I mean, I don't know. And again,
I'll bet you watch when somebody leaves a third of it in the glass.
well, yeah, like my wife.
I know.
It's
my
great.
wife,
That's
too.
like
I'm like, what are you doing?
That's the ninth wonder of the world.
Yeah,
She's the first one at the bar.
It's
She's like,
crazy.
she'll knock over little old ladies to get her cocktail, and
Yeah.
then 6 hours later we're leaving, and she's
The same
got
one.
half her. Yeah, same cocktail.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
So the one thing that kind of came up in our conversation that I'd like to kind of focus on is your friend who had years of sobriety. So we're 3 guys sitting around. We got 8, 10, 12 years of sobriety, right?
Yeah.
But we know that could end today if we don't have proper program, if we don't have guards, if we don't have all this stuff, right?
100%.
So what do you do, Glenn? Wait till you see how I tee this up. Glenn, you do 25, 26 things a day,
26.
week, month, right? Joe, you do one thing.
I wake up. Is that what you're saying,
that's
Mike?
right. He just wakes up. So the funny thing is, Glenn and Joe have this bantering about them, and having you on the podcast,
I knew this would
Glenn,
come up. I knew we were going to go
That's
there at
right.
some point.
Glenn says, hey, you could get a sign off on 5 meetings here.
Joe, I didn't bring this up.
I did. It's too funny.
It is great. I figured at some point it was coming up.
So Glenn rides Joe because Glenn, when he decides he's going to go to a meeting, if Joe's not there, it's glaring.
I get a text.
Right?
I get a text at 10 after 7.
And
hey, missing you. Wait,
And I've seen in the past year, I've seen Joe at 10-1 meetings over Glenn, and it's just because of what meetings you're going to. But poor Joe gets the grief for the meeting attendance.
Well, I got to say that's not one of my stronger suits in the program. I will be the first to admit it.
What is your strong suit?
Well, yeah, okay.
Oh,
well,
my
that's
gosh.
yeah. Well, let's see. Connection.
Okay.
I stay connected. I have a lot of guys like you guys that I'm close with, and I do stay connected that way.
Socially or communicatively?
Both. Do both. I try to do stuff socially. I play golf when I'm not working. We have a golf
league, like
thank you. League was the word I was looking for. Thank you. So we do that. That's on Thursdays. So we do that.
So it's a group from AA.
It is. It
Nice.
is. Yeah, and it is.
many
And
guys?
all are welcome. It's an open forum. Everyone's welcome. I mean, it varies. You might have 8 guys. You might have 20 guys out there on a Thursday.
Just
It's
out
all
there having fun without alcohol.
Yeah, just no obligations. You go and
Right.
do that,
Okay.
I'm busy with a lot of work, and when I did get sober, like a lot of the bar talk, I always I had big dreams, like all of us. I'm going to do this someday. I'm going to do that
sure.
someday,
Yeah.
and I did. I got sober, and I wanted to be. One thing I wanted to be was a man of my word.
Yeah,
if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Boy, that flipped with me. Yep, I was.
You know what I
sloppy.
mean?
I was so sloppy. I would be the promiser of all promises and fulfill 20% of them.
That's what I mean, and that's what I wanted to do, and so I did. I wanted to start my own business, and I did that, and it's kept me very active and very busy, and I mean that takes a lot of my focus and my time, which does help me stay away from focusing on other things.
Right.
That's good. It's positive purpose.
Absolutely, I look at it like that. I'm alcoholic, so again, I'm all in, right? So it's balance is the key to everything, no matter what it is in life, and whether you're alcoholic or not. But balance is finding balance is the sweet spot. Like you always say, Glenn, the sweet spot. Where is the sweet spot there? Have your program, have work, and have your family life, right? I mean, those are the 3 things you want to. If you could balance them all perfectly, God, I think we'd just be so much more happy.
Right.
But hey, progress, not perfection.
Right.
So
How about you, Glenn?
I lost the question.
What's your focus? What kind of keeps you focused on staying sober? What's your number kind of one?
Yeah,
two
so
thing?
people, I do, and actually, I have the opportunity to share with people every now and then about my 20. I actually have a PowerPoint to list them, and people are like, well, why do you still do that? Why? I mean, you got 10 years sober. Why still do 26? In fact, they've noticed I've added one a year podcast. I added recently, and I'm like, well, because I know 26 works.
Right.
I don't know if 18 works.
Right.
And I don't want to find out.
right.
So, it's going back to Dr. John, right? He's the smartest guy in the room, and he's like, oh, there's only one motivator, pain. And I'm like, I disagree. I came around for 4 years and did all this shit for 4 years because I wanted to avoid the pain of relapsing and going down that road again.
Right.
So I said, but somewhere along that way, I don't do all this stuff today to avoid the pain. I do all this stuff today because I want more of the good shit. I want more of the promises. Joe, you love the word promises.
Yeah.
And I want more. I just don't. I'm not worried about having a drink today. I'm not worried about the mini bar.
Right.
I want more of serving others and the value and purpose and the rewards that brings. So that's why
that's giving back, and that's
a superpower.
Yeah. That's huge, and and again, I do agree. Pain is a motivator, but the longer we stay sober, the more it's easy to forget about those things. So it's good that we do these things here that kind of because we talk and again, like you say, we laugh when outside the rooms, we bullshit, we're talking, and we can remember the old times and and where we were at when we we're at our darkest points and our lowest points of our life, and you look at us now. Look at you guys. I mean, the things you guys do and the way you give back. Again, it's you help so many people with this, with your volunteer, with all the stuff that you guys do. It's huge, and that you may not see a direct impact, but I mean, it is no doubt about it. Is you could see it, down the road.
The ripple.
Yeah, but a couple of things.
For sure.
Number one, I think I can speak for Mikey too. We don't measure the impact. I mean, we used to, when early on, we used to measure stats, and we could care less, But Joe, I got to ask you a question. Did you feel like coming this morning?
No, I got to be honest.
Three of us.
No, I mean,
I didn't either.
And again, for me, it was more of a nerve factor. Like I was telling Mikey, I texted you yesterday. I was like, we talked. I'm like, again, me in the morning is like, okay, well, how can I, help this, this podcast, and how am I going to contribute, right? And again. And you're right. You're like, hey, it's going to be just like us three talking like we normally talk at a meeting.
And it is.
And it is. And it is actually like that. It is.
Fire pit, smoking a cigar.
Exactly right. And I've been to your place many a times, and it's like we've sat in the backyard and done that exact same thing. And you're right. It is just like that. But now the comfort level is a lot more. But at 5:45 this morning, I'm like, oh, God, you're right. And the whole way here, I'm on the phone. My wife, my wonderful wife, Lisa, who's been my biggest supporter and biggest advocate, is, and she's like, oh, you're going to do fine. And I'm like, and again, it's more just overthinking it. And I think that is, I overthink everything. And that is like, I do that with everything. I'm a worrier, and
that is one of my character defects.
I do.
Well, what I've noticed is and I do a lot, right? I'm supposed to go do a serving project tomorrow morning, and what I have noticed, going back, and I've shared this before, Facebook years ago, I saw a street sign. Your thoughts and feelings are valid. Act on them. And I'm like, well, I did that for 50 years. It got me drunk, right? And so what I noticed today, I didn't feel like coming this morning. Yesterday, I was exhausted. I'm exhausted today.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is the last thing. I wonder if Mikey will miss me. Right. I mean, that's literally the thoughts that get through my head.
I know.
Every time I come here.
But here's
every time I do anything. But what I like Monday nights, right? We have our Monday night men's group.
Yeah.
100% of the time at 5:30, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go.
That is a big put out.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Why am I doing this? It's not fun. Right.
Yep.
And yet, every Monday night at 9 o'clock.
You're like, wow.
Every Saturday when we leave here at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's like, oh my God, that was awesome. The feelings
100%.
always come later.
Yeah.
They never come in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I tell you that is so spot on? So do the next right thing is a mantra I live by. Just figure out what the next right thing is. So in life, even though we're supposed to focus on 24 hours, right? People ask me to do a podcast on 5 Saturdays from now. I commit because it's the next right thing to do. Easy to commit.
All right, wait.
Then,
wait.
Yes.
Let me jump. Sorry, you're in a roll. I apologize.
That's right.
How long did it take you? Because I knew this is an algebraic algorithm that we all did.
Okay.
When you were early in sobriety and somebody asked you to do something, how many years did it take you to not try to calculate, will I be sober, to do that? To meet that commitment?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just realized it the other day. I'm like,
But will I still be sober to go to the sober picnic?
yeah. If somebody said, hey.
How awkward.
Hey,
Can you come and speak or whatever?
Yeah,
right.
or do you want to go to the Cubs game? And be like, when is it? Oh, it's Friday afternoon. Let me.
I don't know.
Oh, wait. I haven't
Right.
drank for 2 years.
That's right.
Right.
I'll be sober.
Yeah.
But that's the brain memory. Sorry, man. I
that
was just
is
trying to be
exactly
funny.
right. But so for now, it's like, I'll make the commitment, right, to speak at a meeting or to do whatever.
Yeah.
Or go to Monday night group. I make the commitment to go there. Then when it comes right down to it, I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to do this. But new Mike fulfills his commitments.
But
Well, and
you
that's
know the
goes-
value's going to catch up.
And that's goes back to my point. Like you said, you being sober, we were men of broken promises.
Oh,
and I mean, if nothing
constantly.
else, is like, you admit you're an alcoholic. Well, and it's like, okay, now you want to be a man of your word, and
That's
that's
right.
and that's the biggest thing. Like when I say I'm going to do something,
I know,
even to
right?
this day, I'm coming up on
Yep.
12 years. Even to this day, if I say I'm going to do
for
something,
you. Yep.
damn it, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
God, I'll be
Yep.
there.
Yep.
And if I'm
Good
going
for you.
somewhere, and I don't want to be that person that is not reliable. If nothing else, I might be a jackass and a dry drunk at certain times, but I'll tell you what. But I'm going to be a man of my word. And if I say I'm going to beat her or I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Let me ask you this question: are we all on time now, where we weren't on time before?
I was
always late.
No, I was always on time.
Oh, I was always late.
But I should say this: when I showed up, I was always on time.
Yeah, and in what condition you showed up in, but that's a whole nother story.
Hey, I do have to share this. I don't getting chills again, man. That just means shit's happening, in my soul. But so I'm having this coffee, right, with my daughter Kate. She's 27. I just love
This
that
is in
little shit.
Greece.
In Greece, right?
Awesome.
So again, we're seeing snippets of right, and she says to me,
I got to tell you, I love the fact that you did that. I got to
Very
tell you,
intentional.
He
that
went with-
is
he
that
went
that
with
is
six-
just
he went
that's
with six
priceless.
people
That's-
and booked 6 mornings.
That is-
next morning, 6 sunrises I saw.
I
They
love
missed
that
one.
thought.
And guess
Yeah,
what?
Isn't that a great thought?
I love
Every
it.
one of them showed up, and I had 2 teenage college kids
Who
showed up on time.
for Sunrise Coffee. With,
Everybody showed
Yeah.
up on time. It was amazing. I mean, it was such. And I started out. I'm like, hey, you're busy working on your A game. I'm trying to work on my game. I said, we're all busy. I said, I want to take this time and to be very intentional about our relationship. Very.
Oh man,
purposeful,
that's huge.
right?
I got goosebumps. Go.
So-
I didn't mean to cut. I know
No,
you're on a
so-
roll. Go.
So look at my goosebumps.
I love it. Oh yeah.
So Katie, we're talking. She goes, Dad. She goes, I've noticed for the last 4 years, every time I call you, you pick up the phone.
Little
Does-
things.
doesn't-
Little things.
They're paying attention, man.
Yeah.
Right? Look at my goosebumps.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I started crying.
She had to love that.
And I said, babe, for 4 years, I stared at that phone and wished you would call.
Ooh, that's ooh. Oh God, you're gonna bring me to tears.
And I just cried and we just hugged.
Wow, that's
That
huge.
was 11 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Takes time. And somebody mentioned a meeting yesterday. She's like, oh, I'm going to work with my kids. I'm like, look, it takes time. Right? It is not on our time schedule. Like the
Right.
one dude, oh, they should respond. I've been so good for 6 months. I'm like, you fucked them for 20 years and you want them to work on your timeline? Get out of your ego, man. This is their timeline. Get in the back of the bus. They're in
Dude,
the driver's seat with their
couldn't be.
timeline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get some help. My sponsor is my absolute lighthouse, helping me with my relationships and my expectations. I have zero expectations. I go in, I don't care what happens. If you don't feed me, I don't care. I'll survive.
Right.
And it was just such a moment, man. So they're taking notes, man.
That's huge. God, I got to tell you, man. Tell me that when you set that tone, like, hey, I want to have coffee. I mean, God, did you ever imagine that it would be that deep and that
So here's what happened.
you would get that response and that reaction? I mean, that's huge.
So I told Jen I was doing it. I think she was disappointed that she didn't get one.
But
I'm like, babe, we have coffee all the time.
Next time, book the flight book the trip for 7 days.
I know, no, totally.
You stood up.
But totally. So I do. I will mail her one. So Joe, thanks for that.
Yeah.
But and she's like, hey, don't be disappointed if they don't show up. I'm like, them showing up's on them. I said, I did the invite. I'll be there. I'll be ready. And every single morning, I was sitting there out, beautiful, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea.
That is just
beautiful
awesome.
beautiful mountain sunrise over the water. I mean, it just couldn't. I mean, I have pictures. I mean, goosebump. And then I would hear a door open. I'd be there at 5:30. I'd hear a door open at 5:45, at 5:50. And they're strolling out in their PJs, right, grabbing a cup of coffee. And we had like a little living area with some nice couches, outdoor living couches. And we just sat out there. I mean, and it was one of the most stressful weeks for work I had. I was trying to close a deal with attorneys, I mean, It was amazing. And then every night, the whole family got together to watch the sunset. So we saw the sunrise and sunset from the view of our place. I mean, the sun going down. I mean, that was worth everything.
Yeah, right.
That's an amazing story.
Just
God,
worth
you know what I mean?
everything.
Not even to do the old cliche, the promises, but God, if nothing else, those are the reminders that will keep us sober.
That's right.
It's just
But
that.
you got to be intentional.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be intentional. And
Yeah, you
and-
could have just let the whole vacation just kind of happen in front of you.
Yeah, and again, that probably would have been my mantra.
Right,
like,
right.
okay, hey,
go
let's
with
all
the
we're
flow.
here,
Let's
just
just
kind of
go with the flow.
But you're right,
Right.
and
But
again,
you know what the funniest thing was is in the invite. So I mailed them. I went to the store and I bought invitations, and I mailed them. And I said, please RSVP by this amount of date. Every one of them RSVP'd. It was important to every single one of them.
Wow.
that's amazing.
And
You
everyone
went old
RSVP'd.
school, huh?
Everyone, I did. I went old school. I
See,
mailed them.
I would have texted
that's-
them.
What?
No.
See, again,
Right.
but I would have done the same thing. And
I
it's
wanted
like,
it to be different.
Yeah.
I wanted it to stand out. I wanted them to know it was important to me. And so I did it differently. You know, and I mailed it to my daughter in college, you know, and she probably gets her mail once every,
Right,
2 weeks or
right.
whatever, you know. I don't know. It was just, I've learned to be very intentional and aware, and I want the people around me, you guys, I want you guys to know what you fucking mean to me, man, that I'm here because of you.
and I mean,
And Joe, I'm not bullshitting you when I say you're one of my foundational blocks.
Yeah.
That's not the
you too,
It's
you
not to
too,
sound
man.
cool shit, man.
No,
I
we-
really mean it.
like you said, when we first started coming, we did the retreat, and that retreat we still do it to this day. It's coming on about
But you know what I
12
loved
years.
about that retreat is,
You know?
is at the time that I went to the retreat for the first time, I had you on a pedestal. Now
Yeah, I had a little bit of sobriety.
Yeah, you quickly showed me that you didn't deserve the pedestal. But I'm just kidding. No, I'm blowing you, man. That's funny.
That's good.
But what the biggest thing is I heard the stories from the other guys about you the first year,
Yeah.
right? About how you couldn't even sit up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Joe's here today, but I was right where Joe was.
Yeah.
And I'm not where Joe is today. I'm working to be where Joe is, but Joe and I saw the similarities.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
there's been rooms I couldn't sit up.
Yeah. I mean, again,
There's
and
some
it's-
AA rooms I
and
couldn't
it
sit
is.
up.
It's a place where again, what like we talked about earlier in the podcast. Okay, what gets you to that point, right? Why? And again, to use Dr. John's line, which I love. I mean, he's got so many great sayings, and he is so smart. So many are picked, few are chosen.
Right.
I love that, and I mean it's true. I mean, we all know people that struggle, right? That have not found the peace that we have, right? That we all have those people in our lives. Unfortunately, they're
How do you
ones in
define
my
peace?
yeah. Well, I mean, number one, the monkey off your back, right? I define that peace. That's the first thing. Everything else is like we know.
Monkey's heavy, isn't it?
Well, it is, and we know that everything. Once you get that thing, everything kind of just falls into place. You got to be patient, right? It all comes together. Once you take that factor out of the equation, it all just kind of seems to fall together. And again, we all have people that are in our families that are very dear to me and very close to me that still have not found, and they see my life, they see how my life is transformed, and they whether they can't comprehend it, whether they don't want to, I don't have a reason for it, but again, getting back to why are we blessed to be
Right.
to
Why
be
are
here
we
today?
chosen?
Why?
Yeah.
Why
I
did
know.
God shine His light on us?
So I
blows me
think,
away.
so I think, and I'm out a lot on social media, sober social media, and you hear all the AA bashers, right? And like
right.
AA's bullshit. It's a cult, and I'm like, I don't care what you call it. It's a fucking miracle for me. You know,
Works.
I finally adopted Mikey's term of miracle, but there's a sober band, Blue October, right? And I've gotten to know them really well over the last couple of years, and I was at a meet and greet, and so Justin Furstenfeld, the leader of Blue October, he's sober 13 years in AA, and I actually gave him my 9-year coin, and because they have been so instrumental, especially during COVID for me, and so you have a Q&A, right? So I always ask them some sober AA questions. Right? So I'm like, hey Justin, I'm like, some people say AA doesn't work. What do you say? And he goes, they haven't worked it.
Yeah.
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 Period. I mean, that's all he said.
Yeah.
And he goes, I have nothing else to say. They haven't surrendered. They haven't gotten out of their ego, right? They're trying to look at the differences, not the similarities.
Absolutely.
They think they're too cool, and that was me for 5 years.
I mean, how many rehabs and detoxes have I been through? And again, all the countless money and all the time and therapies and doctors and to try and figure out, hey, why am I doing these things? And at the end of the day, it costs you $1 a day. Back then it was $1. Now it's $2. Now it's $2 a day. Inflation.
I'm still at the dollar budget.
Yeah, well, again,
but the
we're old
meetings are
school.
still an hour. If you buy a pint of ice cream, it's no longer a pint.
That's right.
It's inflation.
Right.
So it's not a 50-minute meeting. You still get an hour meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
And again,
You're right, for a buck a meeting,
and
it's
it
unbelievable.
doesn't cost you anything, and it's. But again, people, their minds are closed. They haven't given up the notion that they can still drink controllably. Mm-hmm. And again, until you do that and say, all right, man, I just got to check this thing out of my life.
It's amazing. So I had two other questions for him. One is, I said, hey, tell me your favorite 9-step story.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? My favorite one. So his brother is a drummer in the band. He said, my favorite 9-step was with my brother. And he said, I sat down in a restaurant, I had my pile of notes. He goes, I started out. And he said, I sat there for hours and just listened.
Yeah, there you go.
And he said, for the first time in my life, I was a brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
that's heavy.
I know I got look at my goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
That's my
your gauge.
Yeah, that's my
that's heavy. Yeah.
My meter. So the third guy was sitting a couple down from me. He goes, man, I'm 6 months sober. I'm getting a divorce, and my life's crumbling. My finances, and what should I do? Justin points around me. He goes, stop being a little bitch. I absolutely loved it, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's so much value in this stuff. And Mike, I'm sorry, we blew your timer, man.
No, we're fine. We're fine because here's the thing. And Joe, you said this early on. You went into meetings and you saw other people. Glenn, you said you looked at Joe. I looked at both of you guys. And today somebody's looking at me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Not because of what I've done, but just holding on to the hope that if Mike, and the more I tell them about the craziness of my alcoholism and the fact that I'm transformed now into somebody totally new, right? But here's what really you guys both jumped on there is the promises. And the promises are these extravagant promises, and they go on to say, they will always materialize, but then the last sentence is, if we work for them.
Yeah, but don't forget, it also says sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly.
Yeah,
I don't change
right.
the words, but for me,
That's
it's mostly slowly.
Yeah, and again, time frame. Yep.
What do you got, Glenn?
So Mike, you just saw this, and again, I'm on social media a lot. The way I look at it, I might be crazy, but I think God speaks to me through shit that I read, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then He reminds me because I hear it 7 different places.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been seeing this a lot recently on social media as a reminder for me. And then you just said it. It said, I saw a post that said, "Don't forget that someone is learning how to be sober by watching you."
And that's why we do the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why we do it. Hey, this has been great, man. Joe,
Brother Joe, man, you made it.
Hey, I cannot. I got to tell you guys,
There's no sweats.
it's been fantastic.
Yeah,
You haven't
gotta
puked?
come back
Yeah.
again. I mean,
I'd
there's
love
so much
to.
we could unpack.
I'd love to. I mean, it's great.
Here's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
If I put it out there, it usually happens.
Right. Yes. You said that.
I want to see you and Ryan in here together.
Oh, I
Yes.
like Ryan.
Let's
Ryan,
do
you know
it.
what? A shout out to
That
Ryan.
would be.
Hey,
Here's what inspires me about Ryan.
Ryan's another dude.
Well, Ryan also has got youth, right?
Totally.
Yes.
And or as Joe Pesci would say, Ute.
Right.
He's a Ute.
and he's got youth and sarcasm.
You guys-
two things that'll go
You guys
huge.
together,
Yeah.
you just can't make this shit up.
Well, let's make
Yeah.
that happen.
All right,
let's make it happen.
I love it.
All
I
All
would
right,
love
Joe,
it.
come back with Ryan.
I love you, brother.
I would love it. Thanks
Love
for
you.
having me,
Thanks,
guys.
man.
Thanks,
It's
Glenn.
been awesome.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Joe.
Joe.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.